allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
3, for public information, a copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is available for review. That's above Tom. 4, notice of changes in the agenda by the city clerk. Additions may not be made to this agenda less than 24 hours before the beginning of the meeting unless added under item 5 of this agenda. Do we have any changes?
No changes, Your Honor.
5, citizens with business not scheduled on the agenda as required by state law. No matter may be considered under this item unless council determines that the matter requires emergency action. Do we have any emergency actions? Okay. 6, closed session. A, council reserves the right to enter into closed session if deemed necessary if the item is on the agenda as per section 84-1410 of the Nebraska Revised Statutes. 7, consent calendar. Items in the consent calendar are proposed for adoption by one action for all items unless any member of the council requests that an item be considered separately. Do we have any questions or comments on the consent calendar? Okay, do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Solomon, second by Vidlac. Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Solomon.
Yes.
Vidlac.
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes. 8, resolution and ordinances. A, council to consider action on the second reading of the ordinance amending land use permit fees. Okay.
An ordinance of the City of Scottsbluff, Nebraska, amending the Scottsbluff Municipal Code relating to land use permit fees in Chapter 6, Article 6, Section 29, Chapter 21, Article 1, Section 65 and 68, and Chapter 25, Article 17, Section 3, repealing the prior sections of the Municipal Code, providing for an effective date, and providing for publication in pamphlet form.
Okay. B, council to consider action on the second reading of the ordinance relating to fees for fire plan review and fire inspections.
Good evening, council. So for those of you who haven't met me officially, I'm Chris Morales, Fire Prevention Officer. So since we weren't here last time these fees were reviewed were in the 90s. So we're looking at upping them. We're not going to do a drastic increase. We just want to do a minimal one to help alleviate some of the costs of operations. We did make an amendment to statute 6610-1 to make things a little bit more easier on the math. So there is a new table. I don't know if you guys got the handout for that. But basically anything from $1 to $4,999 is just going to be $0. The reasoning for that is because there's really not a big impact of fire code when they do a project that small in costs. Anything $5,000 or more, it's going to be $10 for the first $5,000 plus $5 for each additional $5,000 or fraction thereof. And there's not going to be a cap, so we remove that cap off there. The reasoning for that was because when you get up into the $1 million projects and higher, the fee it's going to be very minimal to the overall cost of the project. So. We also increased our fees for the establishments, for childcare centers and liquor establishments. Once again, not by much, just a little increase in comparison to the old fees or the fees that we currently have established. So, any questions or concerns?
So the first fee they pay covers the first inspection, and then if they need to make corrections, that's covered at the first fee?
Yes, sir. Great question. So the inspection fee, basically, we wouldn't charge that unless we had to go back out there. So it's avoidable. So I give everyone the option, if there are corrections, they can email me a picture of those, and I can just review them from my desk, which would help alleviate or would prevent that fee from being charged.
And then I think it was the $60 additional fees just if you have to go back a third time.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
And Chris, these are very comparable fees across the state.
Great question. Yep. So we did compare them against the other class one cities. In the packet, in the original packet, we compared them to Hastings, Grand Island. A lot of those cities use them to fund their departments, and so they charge a lot of fees for a lot of different things. That's not what we're looking to do. We're just looking at trying to recoup some of our costs for operations. So.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.
All right.
An ordinance of the city of Scottsbluff, Nebraska, amending and revising section 6-10.1 and 6-6-10.2 of the Scottsbluff Municipal Code relating to fees for plan review and fire inspections to determine compliance with the Fire Prevention Code, repealing prior sections, providing for an effective date, and providing for publication in pamphlet form.
Okay, C, council to consider action on the first reading of the ordinance adopting the 2023 National Electric Code.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance to adopt the 2023 National Fire Protection Association Electric Code. It's important that we do this because the state will be adopting these in August, and the state does all of our electrical review and inspections. So it's important that we have the same code as they do.
Okay. All right.
An ordinance dealing with electricity, amending the Scottsbluff Municipal Code at section 4-2-33, adopting the 2023 National Electrical Code, subject to certain stipulated modifications, repealing the former section, providing for an effective date, and publication shall be in pamphlet form.
All right, D, council to consider action on the first reading of the ordinance to consider a plat vacation of Lot 2A and 2B, McDonald's subdivision, a replat of part of Lot 2, McDonald's subdivision, Lot 2, McDonald's subdivision, Lot 1, Massid subdivision, a replat of Lot A, Massid subdivision, and part of Lot 2, McDonald's subdivision, Lot A, Massid subdivision, a subdivision of part of Tract 24, Goose Tracks, part of Tract 23, and part of Tract 24, Goose Tracks.
Mayor and Council, this plat vacation is related to the following item, the preliminary and final plat. By code, subdivisions are limited to 2 maximum replats, and as you can see from that description, there's been several replats for this. So just following code to get this replatted, vacated so they can replat, and the surveyor for the project is here.
Okay.
Greg Shields with MC Schaff. He's covered everything, so I'm just here. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them. Thank you.
And I was gonna ask you real quick, this is basically the lot where Arby's is going in?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
An ordinance of the city of Scottsbluff, Nebraska, vacating Lot 2A and 2B McDonald's subdivision, a replat of part of Lot 2 McDonald subdivision, Lot 2 McDonald subdivision, Lot 1 Massid subdivision, a replat of Lot A Massid subdivision and part of Lot 2 McDonald subdivision, Lot A Massid subdivision, a subdivision of part of the Tract 24 Goose Tracks, part of the Tract 23 and part of Tract 24 Goose Tracks, all being additions to the city of Scottsbluff, Scottsbluff County, Nebraska, with said vacation to include a part of a 20-foot utility easement as platted in deed book 139, page 148, and except for a permanent easement as described in miscellaneous book 135, page 521 through 528, and providing for publication in pamphlet form.
All right, E, council to consider action on the preliminary plat and final plat of Block 1, QM Bluff subdivision, and authorize the mayor to sign the resolution.
So this is just the preliminary and final plat for those 3 parcels, making it into one just west of McDonald's. Planning Commission reviewed this at their last meeting, made a positive recommendation on approval.
Okay.
Zach, do you know when they'll anticipate being done with the construction?
So they won't be able to start construction until this is approved,
Oh,
so we'll have to
okay.
wait till the plat vacation can be approved, and then we'll get this recorded, and then they can start constructing the new building.
Is there any intent so far what they're gonna do with the old building?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I haven't been informed of that.
This is a resolution.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll move to approve.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay. Do you have any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Vidlac.
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes.
Solomon.
Yes.
Reports from staff, boards, and commissions. A, council to discuss and consider action on an economic development assistance agreement with Walther Investment LLC and authorize the Economic Development Program Administrator to sign the agreement.
Sorry guys, I'm coming right up. I'm just gonna get the Zoom pulled up over here.
Did you lose him?
Well, no. I'm just having trouble making my Zoom not tiny. Now I might have lost him.
I'm still here on audio. So.
Okay. Thank you. Perfect, okay. Well, I guess we don't need to see you. I just video. Sorry about that. So good evening, Mayor and Council. We're looking at the potential of entering into an economic development assistance agreement with Walther Investment LLC for an LBA 40 loan in the amount of $250,000. Walther Farms is expanding its potato storage and processing facility near Alliance. The proceeds of the loan will be primarily used for the completion of the facility used in the business. This loan would be eligible for job credits for full-time employees to be credited back to their loan. Their application was presented in front of the LBA 40 Application Review Committee in June, and the committee recognized the economic impact this expanded storage and processing facility has on our area as a whole, along with the high-paying jobs being added to the area and the benefit to build up our agricultural industries in the area. And they gave a positive recommendation on this application. Do you have any questions regarding the application? If not, I'll invite Henry Nira. He's here in person, and then Josh Reeves, the CFO, is joined us via Zoom to answer any questions about the project.
Sure.
No
He wants
questions
to
for
come
me?
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good.
Perfect.
Good evening. As she mentioned, I'm Henry Nera. I'm the farm manager here in Nebraska. And so, yeah, and then Josh Reeves is our CFO based out of Michigan, but either one of us can answer any questions you might have.
Can you just tell us a little bit about what the expansion is going to be used for, or?
Yeah, so the expansion is, it's for new storages, looking at adding some new acres to the area, had an increase in contract. We grow for Frito-Lay and had an increase in contract, just needing some more storages. So last year we bought a farm in Alliance from Jim and Steve Swanson, the brothers there south of Alliance. Bought that farm from them, and then that's where, on the one corner where there's dry land, that's where the facility is gonna go. So there'll be 3 new storage buildings on that site, as well as a new washing and packaging shed. We're looking at doing some top sizing, taking the real big potatoes off the top, and those are going to In-N-Out Burger for fresh made French fries. And so all that will be happening out of that new location.
Wow.
Could you talk about a little bit about the jobs you're going to create?
Yeah, so basically what that will be is adding more acres. We're gonna add more, we call them field managers, and field managers are guys that are responsible for caring for the crop as soon as it's planted all the way through harvest, and then watching those in storage. And then we'll have more jobs being on the sorting line, packaging jobs, quality control jobs, things of that nature. It takes a lot of people to do all that, so that'll be some of the jobs that are coming to the area for that.
And about how many were you going to add jobs?
I think we're looking anywhere from, with packaging, it could be 6 to 8 people for that, plus some field guys. So it just depends on kind of what it all entails. And it wouldn't be necessarily all right away. This is a building process, and it's gonna take some time to add some of those jobs to the area.
Okay.
And you guys are located how far from Alliance?
So the new facility will be, it's about 5-6 miles south of Alliance. The Dinklage feedlot that Scott Schiff owns, we're directly south of that feedlot.
Okay. And have you guys applied for LB 840 money from Alliance?
I believe we did.
Chatted with the
Yep.
developer there. Yep.
Okay. Are there any issues with it being this far out from the county and from the city?
No, we've done this,
Yeah.
a similar program with the one by Lisco.
Yeah.
Yes, in 2017, and we try to take a regional approach with our LB 840 funds, especially when it comes to agriculture. We feel that it has a bigger reach than just the community that the facility itself is present in. A lot of the times, workers will be living in Scottsbluff but maybe driving to work there, so we try to take a more regional approach when it comes to things like this.
And this is an interest-bearing loan with job credits. So, and the jobs that they create, those employees have to live within 75 miles, I think. in this area. So it's well spelled out. And I guess since they did apply for LB 840 in the past, they met their obligations and did everything that we asked of them. So.
And it is impressive, the numbers. I don't know if it's in the packet, but they went down and showed what the impact actually is in our Scottsbluff area alone. You know, and this project is, I believe, an $11 million expansion project. They're asking for $250,000 from us, just because of the employees they anticipate will be living in and near our area. And it was a good presentation at the committee level to show what exactly they're using for contractors from Scottsbluff and the amount of employment they're hoping to bring in.
Okay. We have
Any other questions? Josh, do you have anything to add?
No, just we appreciate the council's time to take this under consideration, and it's been a great process through and through working with the committee, and yeah, just a big thank you to the community.
Sheree, how does our current fund stand? Minus this money, would we still have sufficient funds for local businesses?
We do, yes. Yeah. I think we're in about 2.5 million in the fund right now. There have been a couple of payments made and loans put out to the community. I'd have to double check with Lane, but we're still in great shape.
Okay.
Fund's in good shape. And remember, we just funded Papa Moon too, so
Yeah.
that was sizable, but the fund's doing.
But yeah,
So,
payments come in and then loans go out. We're still in good shape though. I think 2.5 is right.
I think it's a little less than
that.
that, about 1.6,
Are we at
when I
1.6
looked
now,
last
the
week.
payment?
Yeah.
Are your growers down into the valley?
Yeah, we do. So we stretch all the way from Alliance, Hemingford area into Bridgeport, and we go all the way into Oshkosh, Garden County area.
Okay.
These are high-quality potatoes.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, so Lay's potato chips, you know, classic Lay's, eat Lay's.
They have standards.
Yeah, so there's certain standards we have to meet. You know, there's quality incentives with Frito. You know, kind of a premium product is what's required, you know, to meet those standards and go into a processor like that. So.
Okay. All right, do we have any other questions? Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Okay, do we have a second? I'll second it. Motion by Vidlac, second by McCarrigan. Are there any other questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
McCarrigan.
Yes.
Vidlac.
Yes.
Solomon.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
All right, 10, council reports, informational only. This item is intended for council members to update and inform other council members of meetings attended since the last city council meeting. Do we have any updates? No?
Public meeting for the comp plan, July 16th,
16th,
4 to 6? 4 to 6 at the Midwest.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. And we'll see more about that come out. or
Yeah.
not?
They're working on a press release for us right now, and that should go out here very shortly.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Vidlac, second by Solomon. Call the roll, please.
Solomon,
Yes.
Vidlac,
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes. We're adjourned.